There's a company in Korea that makes candy, builds theme parks, runs department stores, and yet somehow still manages to feel invisible. One bus, train, and a skip away, and we were nearly there. We were headed to Lotte World. It was a rainy day, but the park was packed. School must have let out early, or I don't know, because Seoul's youth showed up in full force. When in Rome, you do as the Romans do. So we picked out something cute to wear on our heads. It was a tough decision, but I landed on a Dalmatian ear set with a lump of meat dangling in front of me, sort of like motivation. And honestly, it was a strong choice. I still wear it to this day. Looking back, we actually only rode one ride the entire time we were there. It was creepy, unsettling, and low-key perfect. But the rides weren't really the point, because the longer I stood there, watching families, teenagers, grandparents, the more I realized that this place felt bigger than just a theme park. That's when I started noticing it. Lotte, Lotte, Lotte. Not just the logo, but the presence. Because once you see it, it's everywhere. It starts innocent enough. Snacks, candy, burgers. Stuff you've probably eaten without thinking twice. This part makes sense. This part feels like home. But then it keeps going. Department stores, movie theaters, places where people spend their weekends, their whole lives. Imagine if your mall, your movie theater, and your food court were all owned by the same company. Not flashy, just present. Then there's this place, Lotte World. Not just rides, childhood. A shared memory space. The kind of place people don't visit once, but return to over decades. Parents bringing kids to the same place they once stood. That kind of scale doesn't shout. It settles in. And then you zoom out. Hotels, construction, infrastructure. Big, quiet projects that help hold a country together. This is where it stopped feeling playful and started feeling intentional. One thing that surprised me, Lotte didn't even start in Korea. It was founded by a Korean entrepreneur, but it took years for it to later grow back into Korea, which honestly kind of tracks. History here is layered. Nothing is simple, and at this scale, nothing exists without complexity. After a bite to eat and a mandatory coffee, we headed upstairs, away from the crowds, away from the noise. That's when we found it, a quiet, retro, animatronic history museum, tucked away like a secret. Slightly creepy, deeply charming. The kind of place you can tell someone poured real care into, knowing most people would walk right past it. I loved it. Every weird movement, every dusty display, it was fuel for my history nerd fire. This is actually where the idea for my Korean History for Dummies video officially sparked. Somewhere between the candy, the crowds, the coin-operated fortune tellers, and the quiet museum upstairs, I realized I wasn't just visiting a theme park. I was standing inside a system that helped shape modern Korea. And somehow, it didn't feel cold. It felt lived in. At the end of the day, I didn't walk away with answers, just better questions, which, in my experience, is usually far better.